Okay, that'll have to do. Anyway, who knows? Whatever. I was gonna solder. Sorry, solder. I was gonna fill the gaps in this solder stencil. But I just realised the paintbrush I found is massive and no good and a bit ridiculous actually. Not ideal, to say the least. Obviously, need something a lot smaller than that. Um, the issues I was having was just simply because the stencil didn't have um, the right amount of holes. Every time I tried to, you know, get some balls going in this chip, it was providing too much solder. The third row of holes, you know, was then bleeding over onto this chip. Um, so you're essentially, I mean, it's probably obvious, but you're essentially having little bits of solder coming up along. Bloody hell, I can't aim to my life. Get an extra piece of solder, loads of balls trying to be formed along here on the green on that part of the substrate, and obviously that's not what we need. It's not much help at all, actually. A couple of things though. This chip has been through many, many heat cycles, because I've had to like try again, clean it, try it, blah blah blah. I got the chip to look reasonably good. However, I put it into a clamp yesterday, um, because I was going to. Well, I found the clamp and I thought, oh, I wonder if that's any good. I've never actually used it. It was in amongst the bits and bobs. Yeah, no, should not have even thought about doing that. It was a stupid idea because I think it scratched it and damaged it. But I haven't looked under the microscope yet to be sure. So um, there are some scratches. Nothing serious though. They look relatively superficial, so that should be okay. I think that bit there is the bit that I'm really. Yeah, it's quite yeah, not ideal, but I don't think it done any harm, so that's good. Also, this focus is off a bit. Let's try that. Yeah, oh, may need a bit more cleaning again. Jesus, okay. You know how crusty it looks. He says, no, it looks fine. Oh no, there it is. Yeah, that corner looks pretty crusty, but you know what? I can't seem to clean that. Oh, there it is. Okay, nothing too serious. I can clean that later. God, I'm waffling so much. Let's try that again. Yeah, okay, that'll clean up, so that's fine. Anything else on here that I need to worry about? Nothing standing out really. Just I can see where they clamped it though. Just a bit. Oof. I was careful too, but the clamp had a sharp edge. I didn't account for. But one good thing though is I was messing around with the camera today and realised that I can bring it forward because it was much further back and at a funny angle and everything else. But I've been able to kind of get it very close, almost in line with the optical path of this microscope without obscuring it anyway. So you can actually see quite well what the chip looks like, which is kind of nice. Not worried, not too upset about that. Quite like it. May not be perfect, of course, but it's pretty good. I still need to finish cleaning this off because um, if that'll show up on here, kind of does. Um, it looks worse probably on the camera than what it might actually be. I'm not sure. Let's look on the microscope and see. Yeah, under the microscope it looks way better. Um, if I can focus it, of course. Yeah. It's just still got a lot of solder on there. Is the issue as far as I can see. Um, so yeah, that needs a good clean. And to clean all these up. Get all that all cleaned away. Hopefully I can sort of start fresh. There isn't much clearance, between, like presume I can't show you. I presume the language is that it's an interposer. Well, that allows that chip to connect to the RAM. You see, that obviously goes on top of there, as you probably might remember if you were on the stream and I was messing around. Trying to get that to line up would be one thing. That's going to be crazy for me. But also, yeah, I've got no way to verify that the solder worked, so, or if there's any issues. So I'll have to power it on and just hope it doesn't cinch my eyebrows. But that's pretty good. But back to what I was hoping to do anyway was fill these gaps, and I don't think I can now. Now that I've set up the stream and faffed around, I don't really have a way to do that I can tell. Because a couple of issues is like I need the clearance. You know, so like if I put anything in those holes, the likelihood is going to overflow the hole onto this surface. And obviously when you're smearing solder paste on everything, you're pushing down and smearing, pushing down and smearing like that. Obviously any errors in the clearance here means that when I try and do that, I suppose it's going to be uneven, and I'm not really going to be able to get the solder paste down into the areas where I really need it, where it won't be blocked off. So, not really sure what to do. I just don't have the right pissing stencil for it. I think I'm just going to have to try it and see, and hope for the best, really. I was hoping to do the blocking of the holes on this stream, but I don't think that's going to happen. Now that I sat down, I just don't have the stuff for it. It's ridiculous. Or do I? Good question. Not sure. I have some blue tack here. So I was trying to think of how I could block off the holes where I obviously don't want any, you know what I mean? Obviously, don't know if I'll be able to. Obviously, blue tack's pretty good in terms of conforming to whatever you touch it onto. So, presumably that worked. Yeah, you can see the pattern, which is pretty good. So I could maybe use blue tack to temporarily block the holes where I do want solder to flow later. Maybe that'd be how I do it. No, I don't know. And then block, and then yeah, and then epoxy or whatever. The other row of holes. Jesus, don't know how that's going to pan out. I think that's the easiest way though. The other alternative is just literally just put some tape down. I suppose. I really wish I had some Captain tape though. But I don't have any. But whatever. Sorry about the jumping of the webcam. Jogging of the webcam. Okay, that's not far enough over, of course. Wish I had some decent tweezers. Kind of having to make do with some real rubbish, unfortunately. Okay. Oh wow, I lined that up spectacularly well. I didn't expect that. Maybe these maybe these brushes might be helpful right now. But I don't know. All right, let's have that. the amount it's over by is quite funny. It's like quite fine actually. Like probably leave it where it is, but I feel like lining it up a bit better. Probably in my best interest. Let's try that. Yeah, I think that's acceptable. About the bottom row. Let's just do it and see. Yeah, I think that's okay. Okay. So that's blocked off some of it. Pretty good. So maybe we'll have progress. I'm going to disable my mic for a bit because I need to make a phone call, but I'll keep going.